You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Victor Cruz. Morning, sir.
What's going on, man?
I can't believe it's your first time up here.
First time up here. I'm here. I'm finally here.
How do you think the respect is going to change once you sign with the Patriots? You think they still respect you the same?
I hope so. I hope so, man. I hope they know where my heart lies, man. But I gotta go. I gotta go back to work at some point.
Word.
Now let's talk about that. You've been with the Giants since you started in the NFL. Mm-hmm. You're from Paterson, New Jersey, so you're a hometown favorite.
Exactly.
You came from I think the dirt because nobody expected it.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it feel when the Giants released you? Because you gave so much to the Giants.
It hurt, to be real. I gave so much to them, 7 years. I mean, from the great things of the Super Bowl to the 2 years of injuries and climbing back from that and making it back and being back on the field and things like that. So it definitely hurt. But like every good group, like every good recording artist, everything got to come to an end at some point. Your run got to stop at some point. So I was just grateful for them for giving me an opportunity to come back off these injuries and play again and be the guy that I once was. And now it's it's on to the next phase.
Now was it the Odell Beckham situation? They said that you weren't a mentor to him and y'all went down to Miami.
That's my brother.
The whole boat cruise stuff.
Yeah, that's my brother. I mean, through and through, that's my brother, always will be. So it wasn't about me being a mentor. We talk more than anyone on this team. I mean, about life, about things he's going through, about things I go through. We talk about everything. So the Miami thing, it is what it is. It was 7 days before a playoff game. It had no bearings on what happened in the game. But it is what it is. I can't take it back now.
People made too much of a big deal out of that situation?
I think so. I mean, the biggest thing was the picture. I mean, if the photo didn't come out, if you didn't see the photo, no one would have known that we were there. And it would have just went, unscathed.
Now everybody had their shirt off, but you.
Yeah.
I was smart.
Was that a wise
smart.
decision?
I was a smart guy.
What made you say, I'm going to keep my shirts on? Everybody else want to be skins.
I mean, it wasn't even I wasn't even thinking about it. It was just, we were on the boat. We were moving and shaking. I didn't think to take my shirt off.
Was there girls on the boat? Because, some people thought they were, okay.
Absolutely.
See, there were girls on the boat, Charlamagne.
Absolutely.
I never questioned if it was girls on the boat.
It should have been like a no-picture policy.
Yeah. I mean, we should have kind of. I mean, there was no pictures of Bieber. Bieber was already like, looking at everybody like, put your cameras down.
Right, because usually he make you check your phone.
Yeah,
and
usually it was a big deal, but,
It wasn't illegal what y'all did, though, right?
No,
like
not
it wasn't
at all.
against the team rules or anything?
Not at all. We didn't break any rules.
Now you've been practicing, they say, and already met with a bunch of teams, the Panthers, the Bears, the Jaguars. Is there any place that we even thought maybe the Jets maybe. Is there any place that you necessarily want to go or?
I mean, there's no place I really want to go. I mean, I played for my dream team for 7 years, so now it's just a matter of finding a good fit. I just want to go to a team that's a good fit for me, that I can come in and play and be a factor right away, and we'll take it from there, man. Because I don't, I'm not biased to any team or want to go to a specific team. I just want to play. I just
what
want
was your relationship with
play.
Eli? And the reason I asked that is watching the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go to every game. You were open a lot, and it seems like he wasn't getting you the ball. Like you were the third option, and that always upset me because
He was the third option.
When you was the only one there, you was his best
You're
friend.
supposed to throw to the open option.
Right,
It ain't
open
even
option.
1, 2, or 3. I mean, yes, there were times where I was open and didn't get the football, and it is what it is. I have no control. I don't know. Me and Eli's relationship is great. I mean, there's no bad blood. I never did anything to him, and vice versa. So
He hasn't had a great past couple of years either, though.
Exactly, and part of that is just keeping him upright. He's not a guy, you got to put an offensive line in front of him that's going to keep him upright so he can survey the field and make things happen. And the past couple of years, he hasn't had, the amount of time that he's typically had to make the best throws and make the best decisions. So a lot of it is rush and things like that. So that probably played a factor into it as well.
What do you think people hesitation? Okay, what?
No, I was just saying, but I was definitely open a lot.
Yeah, we see.
If you're paying attention to the games out there.
What do you think people's hesitations are?
In terms of
signing you?
Signing me?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny. One of the teams, I got some insider information. They was like, is he worried about like selling sneakers now? And is he worried about fashion and all that?
Selling
I was like,
sneakers?
I was like, yeah. Well,
I know you and Siraj close, but Jesus Christ.
No, I mean, I got my Air
He
Trainer
has
Cruz.
his own sneakers.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
didn't
ain't
know
got
that.
no sneaker store. He has his own sneaker. That comes out. This guy's a jerk. He has his own sneaker. That
Like
comes
Siraj
out.
franchise.
Like every 3 months.
Okay.
Is a Victor Cruz?
Yeah, it's called the Air Trainer Cruz. Go to your select sneaker retailers and go pick that up at some point wherever you're at.
But what's the problem with selling
that's a
sneakers?
dumbass-
I mean, they think that my priorities aren't football anymore. So they're trying to say that I'm more focused on fashion and football. I mean, and sneakers and outside business than I am, about football. But I tell everybody I'm very much a football player. Like, yeah, I like to do all those things outside the field. Yeah, I like to, I have a show on MTV right now that's airing called The Challenge Champs versus Pros every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Like, I like doing all those things off the field to set myself up long term.
Right.
But I'm very much a football player right now, and that's my focus for sure.
Do you think in the future you want to be a commentator?
Yeah, but I don't want to be the traditional suit and tie, welcome to MetLife Stadium. I don't want to be that. I want to be something a little bit more cooler.
Like
if
Strahan
I
a
could.
little bit.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of the mold, and I kind of want to, use that template to kind of, branch off and do things from there. And Stray's a guy I talk to all the time and get his, get his thought process and get his feedback all the time. So he's definitely the mold, and I want to kind of copy that and take it, the Victor Cruz way, if I could.
Was this the hardest thing you've had to deal with mentally?
For sure. I mean, especially getting released, it's like, okay, now I'm 30 years old. I played 7 years with one team. Now this is the back half of my career. Probably realistically got 4 or 5 years left. So now it's time. It's setup time. It's setup time to feel what I want to do next phase. Use this moment while I'm still, hot out here in the football world. Use those resources to branch out to other things and see where it takes me.
Would you play for a team like that you despise, like the Cowboys?
The greatest franchise in the history of sports.
I mean, to be honest, my dad grew up a Cowboy fan.
Oh, here we go.
It's just the real. It's
He'll
the
be
real.
happy.
It's the real. So I was born into that Cowboy life. But yeah, man. I mean, at this point, it's a business, and it's the NFL, and as long as as long as there's a check there for you to go get, you got to go get it.
Did they? What was I going to say? Oh, did they want you to take a pay cut?
The Giants?
Yeah.
Well, I took a pay cut the year before. Coming into last year, I took a pay cut.
So this year it was just like we're just cutting you all together.
So this year was like, look, we took a pay cut last year. We want to move in another direction with the team. That's the first thing they said to me when I walked in. And it. I felt it all year long. Halfway through the year, you're like, okay, I'm balling. Then the other half, I'm not getting the ball. And you're just like, well, what's going on? I was like, okay, I see what's happening. They don't want me here anymore. Because granted, if I was, and a lot of people probably don't know this, let's say I played well and I'm a 1,000-yard receiver last year, it would have been more difficult from a fan perspective to cut me.
Right.
If I'm a 1,000-yard guy, they're like, well, why are you cutting Cruz? He just had 1,000 yards, had 5-6 touchdowns. That doesn't make sense. But if I have 500 yards and whatever the case may be, it's a little easier on the fans to be like, oh, he didn't play well, so that's why they cut him. And if I played well, they were due to, they owed me a ton of money that next year. So it was like, let's get Cruz off the books.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would explain why you were open so much and wasn't getting the ball.
I'm glad you said it.
So it's political like that?
Even more than
It's
you
strategic.
think.
Wow.
I've seen things where, I'm letting out all the secrets right now. I've seen things where guys had incentives in their contract to where they had to play 16 games in order to get X amount. That 16th game came around, they would sit them. If they had a little ailment, something that they could play through, they'd be like, look, we think we shouldn't play you this game. You're going to have to sit. And he's looking like, well, nah, if I got to drag this leg out there for this 16 game to get this check, I'm going to drag this leg out there.
Who
And they're
would?
like, no, they'll use the training staff to kind of ploy it and, things like that.
But you think a quarterback would even make himself look bad on purpose? Like, you know what? I know he's open, but we got rules not to
It
throw
has to be
him.
her because that's the instinct is to throw it to who's
I mean, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that, even just to think about someone coming up to the quarterback and saying, hey, don't throw it here or don't give it to this guy. It's hard to even fathom that thought, which I don't even know or think happens. I doubt it. But when you look at the film and you look at how it goes down, I mean, that's the only way. It's hard.
So why even? But the thing about the NFL that gets me, man, is like, first of all, I don't understand why they don't have guaranteed contracts. Like
They
the
should for that
NBA,
sport. I mean, people get
or
injured.
even
Yeah,
baseball.
absolutely.
So
I agree.
why even want to be in the league?
I think when you grow up playing a sport and you fall in love with it, I mean, it's hard not to play it. It's hard not to, and you're offered, it starts out with a free education with half these guys that come from the slums that don't even have an opportunity to get an education or the means or the money, the finances to do so. And then once you're getting this free education, you're like, yo, you got a shot to go to the league, you can get drafted, but you're like, well, I got to take that option. So it's difficult to turn that down as you're coming up the ranks because of the financial stability that it provides you and just the sheer love of the game. You know, my thing is like, give us shorter contracts and guarantee them. If that's the case,
right.
You know, give us 2-year deals, a bunch of 2-year deals every 2 years, but guarantee them so we don't go into these football players. I see it every year. Even myself at one point early in my career, they go in and they're terrified. Every play means something. Every catch, every tackle, every time they're on that field, they got to perform. And the minute that front office feels like they can't perform, it's right here on the bench. And then it's over. Guys play 4 or 5 years and it's over.
And it's crazy because the degree of difficulty of football.
100%.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, I think Tom Brady is the greatest athlete of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, why? And I was like, because of the degree of difficulty when it comes to football. This guy's 39 years old.
He's the best quarterback I've ever seen. I think we can come to a conclusion about that.
Absolutely.
One. I mean, before the Atlanta game, before this last Super Bowl too, I was saying this, 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like for him to come in, he missed 4 games last year. For him to come in and throw however many touchdowns he threw and lead that team to where they did, I mean, it's unheard of. It's unheard of.
Now you have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a son, would you let your son play football? You seen the injuries, the head trauma, the comas.
I would. I think it's all about education at this point. I think it's about educating these young coaches in these little leagues to teach these kids how to play. I mean, a lot of these coaches just, especially in Patterson, they just hood dudes that just want to put teams together because there are no teams. Mm-hmm. And they're not teaching them how to play the right way. They're not teaching them how to tackle. They're not teaching them to see what you hit to prevent these concussions and prevent these head injuries. But yeah, I'd let my son play because, it's all about putting them on a team that educates the players and not just throws them out there and tell them to go get it.
Are they doing that, though? These teams?
Some are. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know through the NFL and these programs, like the NFL Heads Up program, they have these teams and these little league teams that are really putting an emphasis and a focus on teaching these kids how to play the right way. And then you got your teams in the hoods that aren't. So that's the disconnect that we got to bring together, is having those teams in these inner cities teach these kids how to play the game the right way, because that's where the real talent is coming from, is these inner city kids that are just learning to play the game and trying to figure it out.
I'm not gonna lie, the NFL just be sounding like a miserable place, man. Like when it's over, it's over. And it's no loyalty, like it's nothing. Like,
I saw that open letter that Plaxico Burress wrote in the Players Tribune, where he was offering his assistance to any of these new up-and-coming NFL players, all the rookies that are coming into the league. And he talked about his own difficulties, basically how they train you. But he's like, what they really emphasize is stay away from these women, and don't spend
wear
your money.
Condom.
Yeah, wear a condom. But he was saying there's a lot of things that he didn't learn, and he offered them to hit him up. Do a lot of young players hit you up and
all
ask
the
for
time.
any type of mentorship?
All the time. Even current players, teammates, young teammates. That's the thing I like about this league now. No one has an ego coming into the league now. Everyone wants information. Everyone wants to learn. Everyone wants to, especially from a guy like myself who came up as a free agent, been to the pinnacle and won a Super Bowl, as well as been through the trials and tribulations of it too. So they ask me all the time, man, what did it take to get to where you are? What did it take to get to where you are and to flourish and to make it happen? What were you thinking about when you were injured? Like all these different questions that they have, and I tell them exactly how I'm feeling, and tell them how those dark days were and how those great days were, so they can get both sides of the coin and learn how to navigate this NFL the right way. And I always tell people, use the NFL. Don't let it use you. Don't just sit back and say, all right, I'm just a football player and I'm gonna just figure it out as I go along. Nah, like, you're a football player, but now you have a platform. Mm-hmm. Now you have resources to get your word out, to get your point across, whether it's on the Breakfast Club or whether it's through your social media outlets. You have a platform and use it,
Even somebody like Odell don't have an ego? Because it wasn't that his thing that they said he had an ego?
I didn't see one, at least not with me. We talked literally, and he would always vet to me about, things that people say about him or things that people think about him, whether it be right, wrong, or indifferent. And I tell him, look, like if you want to change people's perceptions, you have to go out of your way now, because people have already formulated whatever they formulated. So now you have to go out of your way to let them know that you're not this way. You're not, an egotistical football player. That you're not, you have to go out of your way to do so, because once they formulate that in their brains, that's what they're going to roll with.
And it's probably got to be difficult for young guys like him, though, because, like, even on the field, they give him problems. But then off the field, it's like, oh, is he gay? Is he straight? Like
it's double with him. Like it's something that he's, and I give him a lot of credit because he could have went off the deep end a long time ago and just said screw this, cursed everybody out, and just went nuts. But he's kind of keeping a cool head about it and keeping resolved and just ignoring it for the most part and just going about his business and living life as a young, 24, 25-year-old kid in his prime. And just living his life.
He does that well. Like, I see him out and about, and he's really cool with everybody, no problems, takes pictures. But when I see you're times 10 that. Like, how do you do that? Because, you're from Jersey, but every time you're out, you talk to every kid, you take every picture.
And you go out a lot.
And you go, but you do that with everybody. Why? Like, I have never seen that with I've seen a lot of athletes out, but you do it times 10.
He's always very chill.
I just think about the times where nobody wanted my picture, man. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody cared about where I was from. Nobody cared about how many touchdowns I had. Nobody cared. So now I'm like, okay, now y'all care. Now, now I'm going to be in everybody's camera roll. Now I'm going to be on everybody's Instagram. Now because that's where I come from. I come from that humility. My mother always taught me, like, never not talk to someone because of you think you're better than them or you think you're in a higher stature than them. I talk to everyone, man. Like, my friends FaceTime me with kids that they see off the street, and I'm just like, "What's up, man?" And I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
Like I always want to give back. I always want to tell my story, whatever I need to do to keep these kids informed and to make sure that they're not making the mistakes I made and living a better lifestyle than I did. That's what it's all about.
How do you avoid not getting robbed going back to Patterson? Because you see
my street cred is good. My street cred is good back there, man. My street cred is so good back home. The rapper life with Fetty, that's a whole different scenario. That's a whole different lifestyle. But when I come home, it's always love. It's always, just people greeting me, and they're always excited to see me. It's funny. People always ask me, like, yo, when'd you get back? When I'm in Patterson, I'm like, yo, I live here. Like, I've played here 7 years. Like, what do you think? I live in Cali and just come here to play. Like, I'm from here. I live here. This is home.
It'd be weird to move when you have to move somewhere else.
Yeah, and I'm, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to move somewhere else when I, get picked up by another team, God willing, and I got to live in another city and adapt to that city and things like that. So we'll see. It'll definitely be a learning curve and something different for me, but it's part of the game, man. It's part of the NFL.
Now, how did all your side chicks take it when your fiance texted all of them?
Here we go.
And told them the jig was up?
My goodness.
Out of respect of everybody in that situation, I'm going to move on. I mean, it wasn't the easiest situation to go through, Charlamagne. I'm not going to lie to you. But, we moved on. We good.
Did any of the side chicks stay down? Like, you know what? I got you. Regardless, I'm here for you.
You know how that go. Obviously, a few of them hit me back, but I had to, they all got curved after that.
Got you.
I had to curve them all.
Now, Lavar Ball, what do you think about Lavar Ball?
That's tough, man. He's, in my opinion, solely my opinion, I believe he's doing more damage than good to his children.
Why do y'all say that, though?
Because perfect example is when you have 3 of the largest sneaker companies in the world not even entertain the thought of having your child on their roster simply because they don't want to put up with you. That's doing more hurt.
You're misleading a little bit.
Talk to
me. They didn't entertain the thought of partnering with him. Lonzo go to L.A., ball out. They're gonna be begging him to sign for an endorsement deal. But LaVar wants a partnership.
Why do you gotta have your hand in everything? Let your kid be your kids. If Kennedy becomes a amazing golf tennis star, I ain't gonna be like, all right, Nike, it's a package deal. It's both of us. Like, either you gotta pay us or we don't. Nah, Kennedy, go do your thing. Go sign your deal. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna help you in any way possible. But this is your life. I'm gonna help you make the right decisions. But at the end of the day, it's your life that you have to live, and you have to make these decisions on your own.
Well, I guess it'd be interesting to hear what the kids want to do.
Yeah, but we haven't heard Lonzo say anything.
But don't you think, as far as creating wealth for black and brown people, the idea of partnering with these companies as opposed to just signing endorsement deals? I mean, because if a company can pay you $100 million, imagine what they make it off you.
And you want to partner in what way? What do you want to do, LaVar? How do you want to partner with Nike?
He wants to have equity in his shoe. Why not?
But why not give your son that equity? That's your money too. Give your son
I'm sure Lonzo's part of the Big Baller brand. I'm sure he's CEO or something.
So yeah,
Of course he is. But my thing is let your kids live. Let your kids be your kids, and let them do what they want to. Not that he's declining them from doing what they want to do, but let them have their own platform. Give Lonzo his own platform to be whatever. What if Lonzo wanted to sign with Nike? What if that was his dream? Now, for whatever reason, because you wanted to partner, that dream isn't his dream anymore. And now he's Big Baller Brandon. I know he loves it, and I've seen the commercial spot for the shoe, and it looks great. But when you have these big brands that don't want to partner with you and don't want to touch you because your dad is partnering and putting himself into the endorsement deal with you, I think it's doing more hurt than good.
If Lonzo balls out,
it's all
change.
none of them.
Yeah, it don't even matter. If he balls out, he'll be right there.
In turn, Big Baller Brand sells millions of shoes, and all is well. And then this whole conversation is an afterthought.
It's just a gamble.
Now, has anybody that you messed with left you after the Giants dropped you?
Your side chicks, maybe any of those.
Now I was talking about.
That sounded crazy.
I don't know. You were specific.
What's crazy is that before he came in here, he was like, I don't really want to talk about any of that.
Oh, I didn't hear
Obviously, Charlamagne didn't get that text.
I wasn't there, and why you told me that?
He didn't get the text. No, man. Everybody stayed true. Everybody stayed true. I think even right now, I think people are just waiting for my next move to kind of, circle the wagons back around. But, no endorsement deal dropped me. No, it's a blessing, to be honest, because if anybody remembers, my sneakers dropped, I wasn't even playing. Right. Like I was injured at the time, and they sold out and did great, and everybody loved them. And that's a blessing to not even be playing, to not even be, I guess, relevant at the moment from what your profession is, and to still have your sneakers do well and still have the things you do off the field do well. I'm extremely blessed.
But because you're a good guy, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, part of it is personality-wise. If people like you, you're not a jerk, then, of course, they're like, okay, we enjoy doing business with him, and we have confidence in him, and we stand by him. Yeah. Whereas if you were arrogant, and maybe they'll be like,
Now, for the sneakerheads out there, where the hell are the red sneakers? I've seen a couple of them released. He did these sneakers. They released the red ones. Now, where are the red ones?
Oh, the red ones are on ice right now, man. Nike, they blessed me with a handful of pairs because, if anybody remembers, they screwed up and a couple pairs were seen at Marshalls. And
Marshalls?
Let me, backstory. So the red sneaker was the first sneaker that was supposed to come out. They were the original colorway, the first colorway that was supposed to come out. Something internal happened at Nike. Some designers that designed the shoe left and went to Adidas. I don't know if you remember all of that. So Nike was like, all right, this shoe isn't dropping. We gotta go back to the drawing board. So this is when all those shoes were already made. Right. All those shoes were already stock made. So they went in the warehouse. And then when they go to the warehouse, after a certain amount of time, the people in the warehouse don't look at the style at the shoe. They just look at the style number. And after they've been in there for a certain amount of time, all right, this style number goes to Marshalls. And boom, boom. So
somebody came up at Marshalls.
Damn, so I could have got Air Cruz.
You could have went to Marshalls
for $30.
Yo, my sister hit me and was like, "Yo, I see your shoe on Marshalls." I said, "What shoe?" I said, "FaceTime me right now." She FaceTime me, show me the retro. I said, "Can you pick it up to make sure it's real?" She picked it up. It was real. I doubted. I dashed to every Marshalls and picked up as many pairs as possible. So I got a couple pairs from these Marshalls, and then Nike blessed me with some pairs. They made me right.
Damn,
I was like,
Mr.
it might be a wrap.
See, that's why you got to go to Marshalls.
You're right.
And that's what happens when you don't own your own shoe. Okay? They can do whatever the hell they want to do with it. That would have never happened to Big Baller Brand. All right? Now,
you like that shoe, Charlamagne? You think that's a hot shoe?
No, but I like the idea behind it. I bought the slippers.
Do you like the shoe?
No. I don't, but I like the idea behind it.
And you bought the slippers.
I definitely bought the slippers. Just to support the energy of that entrepreneurship.
Okay. I respect that.
Because guys like LeBron, Kobe, Kevin Garnett, they could have changed the game a long time ago.
But do you think LeVar Ball's energy, these interviews that he does where he's talking crazy and I don't know if you saw the one with on the Herd with Colin Herd.
I definitely saw that.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, we saw that.
These interviews aren't helping, not even him anymore. It's about everything attached to him. It's not helping the brand, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people to look at you and be like, "Oh, he's an a-hole," and we don't want anything to do with him.
So you think it's his delivery more than the way that he represents?
Absolutely.
More than
it ain't about his business acumen. I think him taking a risk and his business acumen and trying to get his kids the most money and have his brand be the brand that everybody looks for and competing with Nike. I respect that 110%. I think it's the way he's going about relaying that message to the masses is my problem.
I just have a problem with people saying him as a black father. It's like we're telling his sons, don't listen to your dad. Rebel against your dad. Your dad is what got you to this point. I don't understand why we're so against a father being a father.
It's the way he's going about being a father. It's the boisterous manner and the somewhat disrespectful manner to certain degrees about certain topics and certain things when people talk about his son. Like when Shorty said, "Oh, we think Lonzo's scared of you." Oh, he flipped out.
Yeah.
Which is rightfully so.
Yeah.
But this is the perception. The perception is your kids are scared of you because of your personality. We feel like your kids are scared of you and wouldn't rebel.
Or maybe they disrespect you because you're daddy.
Well, I guess you're saying that would have been a great opportunity for him to actually voice, what, because people do think that, apparently.
I think it.
So that would have been a great time for him to respond and let people know what's really going on in a way that can explain better.
We're going to bring Lavar to the Breakfast Club. This is a safe space for him. Nobody here is attacking him. And we're going to get to the bottom of Lavar Ball. I just think he's a good father.
Well, Vic, we appreciate you for joining us.
No problem.
Can't
man.
wait till you sign with the Cowboys and
Definitely
Patriots.
don't sign with the Cowboys.
You're going to watch how
Those
people
two
flip
teams,
on you
no,
in New York.
Not at all.
man.
You've never experienced disloyalty, but you'll see it soon once you sign with the
Hopefully you
Patriots
end up
in
in a
New
nice,
York.
warm city.
One can only hope, man.
Is there anything close? Can we expect a signing soon?
Because Tom Coughlin, he's
We
that
heard
was
you
your ex-coach,
visited
and he's with the
Jaguars.
Panthers now.
Are
He's
you
with
on
the
next week or
Jaguars.
something?
Yeah, I'm actually visiting Jaguars. Excuse me. I'm actually visiting Jaguars tomorrow. I'll be down there seeing what Coach Coughlin has to say in this. And I went to Chicago, also went to Carolina.
I like Carolina. Carolina's a good fit.
That'd be a good fit for you.
It'd be a good fit. But they went and drafted that kid from Stanford, so they got a couple guys that kind of fit my role over there now. So, but we'll see, man. I think the decision's coming up pretty soon here. We're already in, we're talking to a couple teams. Baltimore's in the mix as well. So we'll see how it goes.
Between you and Bolden. And
yeah, me and Bolden.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Bolden are kind of the top free agent, veteran receivers out there for teams to kind of pick up and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. But, I think we're getting close.
So like this week, maybe we'll know.
This week, next week,
Okay.
so after Memorial Day and all of that good stuff, I think that's when
you'll definitely be on somebody's team, though.
God willing, of
Will
course.
you be on somebody's boat this Memorial Week?
Negative. Negative. I ain't on nobody's boat. It's over with. It's over with. Especially without that Red Scully. I'm taking the Red
The
Scully.
Red Scully got to throw the Red
the
Scully
Red
out.
Scully black
That
shirt.
Red Scully meme, that
Jesus.
Red Scully black meme, it
They
was you,
killed
Soldier
me.
Boy.
Yeah, they killed
Who
me.
else was it? Meek Mill.
Yeah, it was over, man.
Did you
was
burn it
over.
for real?
Yeah, I ain't burn it, but I gave it away.
He's got to give it away.
I
Did
gave
y'all
it
do
away.
any like little rituals, like you put in a fire and do a little salsa,
little
dance
seance,
around it?
do a little
Yeah,
seance.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in